Inserted edition of the program, we talk to the Minister for Local Government and Community Affairs, Natamba Lamina. We go talk on the government's decision for create two new districts, declare Lungi as a city and shape Freetown as April 2nd. Cabinet being agree on this decision through presidential proclamation. But what are the reason for this and how the process get for go and how the states arrive at this? Make we get the minister now the studio. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon Tambalamina.
Good morning, 98.1, and good morning, Salon people then.
And just last week, you announced to Salon people, say governments don't agree for create two new districts and also declare Lungi as a city and do other configurations on the map of Salon. First of all, Lowy starts for look at how this come about.
Well, Musa government always the work and they take stock, but waiting they happen at the country, waiting the work and waiting the work so well. Now the responsibility of government for ensure say they are very caring, responsible, and for ensure say development can have various localities all over the country. This decision, we at the Ministry of Local Government and Community Affairs, together with the Minister of Finance and also the ECSL, as determined by the Local Government Act of 2022, now then they advise His Excellency the President on the creation of localities for local governance. We don't go through the whole process. We don't examine, we don't do the research in various ways. And we decide for advice His Excellency the President and also Cabinet and give a proposition to Cabinet for the creation of two new districts, Panguma and Bandajuma, and also additionally for shape Freetown into two, and also Western Rural District into three. The difference here is Western Urban, when I'm predominantly in a Freetown, it will get two councils. Western Rural District, it will get three councils. We determine that mainly because government don't think say because of the urban growth and also the administrative necessity for develop new structures so that we will be very efficient and effective and for local governance work as intended. Because if we can remember, Salon people them, this current local governance now, it don't be for nearly 21 years. Since 2004, the first legal instrument will inform that. Now, the Local Government Act of 2004. Following that, in 2022, government review them and bring in a new things then depending on how which are the emerging issues them inside the nation. So all along, His Excellency the President, it been done talk and I manifesto say it will deepen decentralization. And deepening decentralization, now for pay attention to some of the core principles of decentralization. One of which are the principle of subsidiarity and also the people them voice for be heard by their own local people determining their own local priorities now their localities and they. We don't find out say as it is right now the current system not will work effectively, especially inside Freetown and the Western Rural District. Public opinion speak to these issues, and when we talk about public opinion, over the stretch of people that already live in Freetown, they know say yes, we get Freetown City Council, when at the council where they operate inside Western Urban. But people that know say Freetown City Council know they touch everywhere inside Freetown. If you go to the east end of Freetown, you go find out say the access with them people then they get, even though they get councillors, then they far away from the determining of waiting at them priorities to Freetown City Council. And even when they determine that, Freetown City Council not get that capacity for lead and govern the places as far as that. Critical other things we'll look at in terms of the urban planning. It's very important for people then let them get closer to the local people, where they get the administration locally, for let them determine that. Also in terms of revenue mobilization, then go mobilize revenue more, then go get people then very closer to the people, where they trust and believe, and then no say then council they very close to them than coming very far away from Musa and they. Musa, not to this government no more start for think about that. I want to inform Salone people then say, this nothing, where don't they happen, even what kind of governance, where they read the scripts. Remember say, in 2012, the former president, Anes Bai Kroma, in speech to parliament, we have been the open parliament. One for let Salone people they listen to me. This is the 2012 speech where Anes Kroma give to parliament. And that is on decentralization, deepening decentralization. It talks say, we shall reform the structure of municipal governance by the creation of new area councils within the city of Freetown, with appropriate functional assignments and revenue assignment between the area councils and the Greater Freetown City Council. Similarly, growing urban towns exhibiting incoherent growth will be upgraded to town councils to prepare them for city status in the medium term. Consequently, all existing local council boundaries shall be reviewed and criteria will be set for the establishment of new town councils.
Okay.
This is now President Kruma. I talked that in 2012.
All right.
That population will be there in 2012. It don't different from the one where they currently. Because obviously we will get the midterm census, we'll get population, but the establishment of boundaries is not solely determined by population. Other factors indeed, just like I already don't highlight and to Salone people then.
Right.
And I want for say to Salone people then say, people already try for establish confusion between the law and that of governance. I want for let them stop. Because clearly governance is a very serious business, not a cowboy business.
Okay.
We believe say we don't follow the law to the letter. The Provincial Act of 1960, it determined the same thing, waiting at the president in powers, in terms of the orders that we need for put in place, proclamation. The 2022, as 2004, as refreshed in 2022, it stated very clearly for say the president get right for established localities, and that is not to say again for go back and go say because of census and census get for determinant. The mistake people that they make, this is completely different from electoral boundary delimitation.
All right.
Electoral boundary delimitation is sanctioned by Section 38 of 1991 Constitution.
All right.
What would they talk about here? Would they talk about boundaries or the localities where the president then get the sole mandate for establish that through an instrument will go be laid, and it cannot be annulled except by 2/3 majority
Okay,
of
sir.
parliament.
You just give background about this process, but in the last part you mentioned about the 2012 speech of former President Kroma, wherein they made a plan for do some of the things the way presently they happen. So is it that now the work with former President Kroma not do now one continue it?
Well, but continue what they not do. What they
No,
not do.
in particular to this one.
Well, not to the government na continuity. Government na continuity. Where you take stock, now they make country go before. Where you take stock, waiting the one them don't do before, waiting they not do. If we want to improve on, we want to go improve on them. If they not do the thing the way correct, obviously, we will try for improve on it as well. So government is continuity, and we they continue.
Okay.
Now I make even the cabinet paperwork go. We say a continuation.
Okay. You said it's not based on advice from Finance Ministry, ECSL, local government ministry as a result of the Local Governance Act. Una advise the president. What's the yardstick una look at, una conduct a study on based on what you observe, una come up with this advice to the president?
Well, clearly, Salon people are not the yarn for that. Within the ministry,
how una know that na through survey or una just
obviously now we go na the localities, and obviously we don't see the population census we come on do, and we don't see say the topography of various areas, so they make them very difficult for governance. We don't also see say Freetown, the delivery of services, especially inside Freetown and a lot of other areas, is hindered by the fact say they're not closer and they not get the right structures they will need. Yes, resources, people that will say that resources are other, but resources is not the sole determinant of what you will try for talk about. What you will try for talk about now smooth governance and ensuring that we become more efficient and more effective. This is not about me as minister. Government the plan for the future. And we no say this government are a very responsible government. A lot of the decisions that we don't take and the policies where His Excellency don't put in place. Now for make sure say Salon actually go before. And this question where he asks as to how we determine that, there is no criteria where we say you get for determine that so. But what I don't tell you say waiting to make sure say we do that one day. Now I don't tell you about so.
Now, when this news come out, the opposition, I mean the main opposition, the APC party, come up with position, then think say this na about election. And other arguments advance say now ECSL they demarcate boundaries for election. This morning you say ECSL are one of the bodies that we advise the presidents for this new arrangement of the country map. How you go assure the public say this not about politics and this not in line with what in the APC already say?
Musa, the establishment of localities and especially councils, not about politics. Now mainly about service delivery. How you go deliver services, how you go make sure say the structures the way they're very close. If not been about politics, Lungi now one make city. Lungi is a stronghold of the opposition. Freetown is also a stronghold of the opposition to an extent. But we want for make sure say we get administrative structures then inside them place here. We're gonna make sure say the country and the localities then where we get them function adequately. I want for believe say you know not confuse the law. We have to be very responsible as Sierra Leoneans. Not to everything will bring politics power. And law will also be careful with the language they use. Because people are well-meaning and we have to get respect for each other. Some of the language they use, we have to know say when you use that language then you the incite. An incitement of people where you know say the law not back you at all. You don't get farm grounds for stand-up. I believe so that is wrong for Salon own development. I clearly believe, as Minister of Local Government, and me very lucky, I want to tell the President thank you, because I don't think at this ministry for some time. Quite a long time, very long time, I have to say. And I get the wisdom of hindsight, of waiting on the happen. I don't go all over this country. No sign of this country where no sabi. When the former government established Falaba, they also established Karine. Was that about politics? That's not the question we get for ask.
But
currently,
the SLC may raise concern.
Well, if we raise concern, we still maintain the fact say Falaba and Karine don't they move. Government administrative structures then they development don't they go to the area then people then they say them become very closer to administration and development.
Would they look at that when you go district level?
All right, now, Mr. Minister, the issue of creating new cities and a district, government think about the resources for create some of the structure where you take it into consideration the economic hardship we face at this moment?
Well, if the economic hardship no more, you therefore consider. Clearly, government no go do anything.
Because then building a need for be functional.
Well, I believe say government don't take stock with what they're able to do, and we're very convinced and they on firm ground for say we will establish the localities and then go function just like any other council they function right now. Government ready for provide the resources we required for let them start off. And the one thing we'll get for know is that this is all about planning. What would they try for do so right now? Will they put the pieces together? This not going to affect the current administrative setup of Freetown City Council or Western Rural District. It is in preparation so that when the next council then come through elections the next time, then we'll get different side of what we'll get for the in terms of demarcation of Western Rural District and also Freetown City Council, but also additionally the districts, and making Lungi also a city where we feel say very, very appropriate because Lungi now a very resourceful area for the nation. We believe say don't begin grow in a very peri-urban center, and as a result of that, we feel say they will benefit more from being established as a city for move that side they self go before.
Right. During a cabinet meeting, we wanna sit down and talk about this thing. We don't meet the president. After, we don't meet the president.
I don't understand. President and the chair cabinet.
Yeah. So waiting in response, are you okay with the advice we wanna give?
Well, we say cabinet. When we say cabinet, that includes His Excellency the President, and His Excellency the President and the chair cabinet. So when you say cabinet, that means for say the whole government team, where the ministers chaired by His Excellency the President. Now we don't give.
Because the reason why I ask, if you look at social media and then get the new interpretation, that's why I want to follow make and clear to listeners.
Well, if you give me the interpretation, then I will be able to understand where you're coming from. But what I try to say is that cabinet is chaired by His Excellency the President. Most of them, the decisions the way they can when they say cabinet don't approve, it means His Excellency the President in the chair.
Now, let's take you by your words in the opening. You say the reason for create two for divide Freetown urban into two council now for make development reach the people, and to you it thinks the people of East, for instance, far-fetched from the Freetown City Council consideration. But when you look at the condition of East of Freetown, the deplorable road conditions, the infrastructure, either beyond council in terms of development. Now separating East from West in the basis or on the basis of development, listeners and viewers go on for know what is the role of councils in terms of development or implementation of development projects. Now councils them we make government think say if we separate East from West, East itself will develop or will match the standard of West.
Well, one of the core principles that we are telling about for established local governance, now for let the people then get their voice on the table, let them determine what they want, and also for let the council determine for service delivery, things that they will then call devolved functions the way government don't peel off and don't give to local councils. We don't say not to everything council will do. There are areas that they're not emerging areas. So now make right now, if we put the structures in place, then will be adequately placed for help for the delivery of their services then at their localities then they. And we firmly convinced the one who you see, let's take basic thing like sanitation. Sanitation. It don't necessarily mean the past government can, which is if you look at councillor where they're very close, and you never say they get their own mayor where they're very close, where they motivate them. They don't say that they're very close to that particular person. They end that council. For clean the area, it gonna need resources. But I tell you, say people that can come out because obviously they know say this are the council.
The problem of Freetown, they beyond council. For instance, the Bible Road at the east of Freetown. the road don't worn out. Even when they drive, you know, all the steering farm. You are not able. This is now one of the challenges in the eastern part of Freetown. How creating a new council go help address challenges like voting government or the rural government for play in national development?
Well, I may not tell you say the council get every power for do everything. But what I tell you say, for deliver services, hospital care, schools, in terms of sanitation and all that thing, they go very closer to the various councils. And the other thing I'm going to tell you is that, you know what, Salon is not different. International standards will don't maintain this. If you go close to Guinea, you go find out Conakry, you get various localities. You go to Ghana, you go to Kenya. That's no one how they see say, even though the population don't increase, we still want to make an overbloated entity. And the reason why they say for move, go down to the localities. Now the fact say, you know, let people their voice be heard, and also for let them participate in the governance of the localities. Currently, we feel say that they happen, and then entities there where His Excellency by proclamation. Once you don't proclaim them, we believe say it will help them people then they in the future and in future development. You see, all that in the way they talk about every area. Generally in Africa, every side they go through different challenges. But the way we go for some mountain challenges, now for us, we rethink and see what we need for put together in order for let things happen.
Right.
So when government don't reach them kind of position, for say we feel say this will benefit, you know, no sign of the way they make this announcement. We crowd the way they know the clap. Because clearly they believe say this not the kind of thing where people don't know the yarn for over a period of time.
Okay, Mr. Minister, if you ask people in Freetown City Council or even government offices, then go tell you about resources we are in and how they get couple to term. Now, if una can create a new, you know, council in Freetown in general, you know, things they go add to the burden of the country wage bill?
Well, of course, employment there for day. You see, when you talk about wage bill, I tell you, Sierra Leone is a country on its own. Sierra Leone is a country on its own. We get Boko unemployment. But at the same time, government they try to create a lot of employment for people as well. This issue of wage bill, I tell you, Sierra Leoneans, them, when you employ Sierra Leoneans, they don't talk about wage bill. Because clearly people need to be employed as well. And I make government the fight as much as possible for let the private sector expand as well, so that they self go able to contribute towards employment of people. Government don't say for let people they embrace agriculture in various ways, so that the young ones and they will employ themselves and create the kind of jobs them for people that are inside Freetown as well. Not only Freetown, but all over the country. So we therefore take responsibility, say this is what we have, and how do we move forward? Not only for the look back, for the begin say, oh, we not get the resources, we not get the resources. If Nigeria be feel say they not get the resources, they're not for me for put Abuja from Lagos.
Right.
Me remember how they go school, the kind of grum way we know when I say they move Lagos for car and go Abuja. Oh man, they say, then go do this, then go do that. You go talk say Nigeria, but Australia we also have resources. And some of the things that all this government don't they do, especially with regards to the minerals and what they gain inside this country. I feel say government is on the right track, so that we will get more revenue. We will come to government for help make sure say some of them here it really happen inside the country.
Now let's look at Freetown first before we go now the Western Rural. It means after the 2028 election we will get 2 million at Freetown. 2 million at Freetown.
Correct.
As it stands, Freetown itself no get market. What will be the feature of the new districts or new city council now the east? Because if you go now Eastern Police now, you see influx of people from Eastern who can sell inside town. What's in there for happen with the activities here?
Well, an officer that activities and then they determine whether you forget me or not.
No, I mean,
but clearly, I don't see
the features.
I don't see the alignment of the question. Well, however, which I ever say to you is about service delivery, and we believe, say, with the new council, that conversation will still continue with government, Ministry of Lands, and all them people, including Ministry of Local Government. The conversation they go on all the time for creating space here. You see, the planning over a long period of time, it will be longer issues. Planning of Freetown over a long period of time. It is not only now. People are trying, they will try for address their situations. And if you look right now at Lungi, you will find out, say, a market, the new market around the Lungi Center. Of course, if you look to the city now, of course, the new market they come up way inside the old parade ground there. Also, inside the other part of inside Freetown Gode, we believe say we still fence space and fend the resources for make sure say that thing and they happen on the side.
You believe say una still go get space, but this for them be done before una advise, because I ask you say you know still alignment in the question, but that question deliberate because one of the functions you mentioned about the council now service delivery and market now one of the service system way for deliver to the citizens. The east of Freetown gets space challenge. Creating a new council we not get them facilities here, it no go create much difference.
But what I tell you also, I tell you say within preparation. And when we say within preparation, this is why we try to lay the building blocks towards whatever it is. Because then they already become operational after the 2028 elections.
So
clearly what is going to happen, all the entire government they try for look at town, because you go forget primary things that we go for them in place in order for them to establish a council. So then they will go for look at them for make sure so we put them in place before it will become operational.
So
some of it, no, I'm not going to tell you that right now. Clearly, that's a presidential proclamation. We're not going to tell you that right now.
So how the configuration of the rural Gode?
What do you mean?
The western rural, how we go structure three, now they share into three compartments. How then they go be? Usa you go think say this now one district, one of district.
I don't think it's another presidential proclamation. Presidential proclamation, when the president comes, will tell you exactly. They will develop, we will pull the map there out. As we go and engage people there, I believe certain them will begin on act themselves more as we move around the country. Because this is the one good engagement, obviously. We thank you for the platform. But we believe, see, this waiting with the try for this. I'll tell you something. You see, when issues then come immediately, change the way for even develop later on. Where people, because not to somebody or not to a particular entity they do them, then they cry foul. And we believe, so even some of the and then determination how they make, the chairman of Western Rural District, over a long period of time, it understood to we say there is a need for them to get different councils then. And I don't just read for say the former president, His Excellency President Nkrumah. It clearly stated in 2012, and this is long even before they left power in 2018, for say there is need for let that happen. So if this government right now they implement that, I believe say we all for glad to say at least there is continuity of governance and for the betterment of this country. So let's stop for politicizing here. Let's think about salute.
All right, Mr. Minister, the new district where the former government creates, when Falaba and Karine, I guess as a minister you are aware of the development challenge we presently they get, even though they establish and since. So if you know that district that they don't establish way back, still up till now they get challenged to basic thing there, you know things go repeat?
Well, I may want to tell you say the preparation will be happen
on the Karine and Falaba
prior to that, because obviously when I come in I know exactly how I see Falaba and I see exactly how I see Karine. If you go there right now, you will see a lot of improvement because government they realize say using what we refer to in local governance as the equalization principle. That means for society the way they done, leveling them up, bringing them come up. You realize say government they spend more time and resources in those areas as well, whether na Karine or whether na Falaba, for say the places don't they come up. And development not a one-day business. Until way they come on as we go along. Not as Salome do. Currently, this government don't prove itself, say we care for the people, and when we take on some of them policies there, for implement them policies there, we mean and genuinely for say it is about a better saloon. Okay. Not necessarily because we want to get a political point.
All right. You mentioned about preparation in place for create Falaba and Karine district. What you mean? Is it that then just been doing for do sake?
Well, me say preparation not been there. Because what we find when we come, obviously there was nothing to write home about. We don't know exactly what we find.
So it can find for let you update the public so that then self gonna say
no one go that side. They not concentrate on the localities they will try for establish right now. The localities they will try for establish right now. Government want for do adequate preparation for make sure say when we establish the localities then they go able to function effectively for service delivery, about schools, about clinics, and all of those things, even the market and mobilization of revenue. Those are key parameters we'll go for look at where you want for established localities and for make sure say the revenue leakage possibly where they happen. Because we believe say inside FCC, inside Ward C, they endowed a lot for mobilize more revenue. But at the moment, we'll not get that. When we get a smaller council, I believe say we'll be able to get better growth for them particular area than they and better service delivery as well.
Don't look at Freetown extensively in the new configuration. Don't look at Lungi as new city. We'll talk about Lungi as new city. What will they talk about?
Well, if you talk about a demarcation of an area where it be for say government go focus a lot on because of the emerging potential of Lungi. Lungi now get the international airport. We don't get a lot of hotels around there in terms of tourism. We also get agriculture around the area, Napotloko and various other areas. We strongly believe say making Lungi a city, it will continue for grow because now one of the urban centers and peri-urban centers that we don't develop over time. We believe say government need for aid that by giving Lungi a city status.
Okay. Now, Lungi a city status. Somebody in our Facebook page just mentioned say the basic thing where people for enjoying any city in a light, which one I don't put in place because at this moment you see they experience some blackout.
Well, I don't tell you say the proclamation when the proclamation is made by His Excellency the President, it plans them definitely we go on Nathan as a ministry. Regarding what we want for put in place and what they in place currently.
Now, Lungi would be, is it commercial or an administrative city we talk about now?
Well, I believe so it will be both. Clearly, it will be both because what we want further expansion. If that area they grow, the population itself inside Freetown, even Western Rural, it will begin suck that population there a little bit, and for reduce the tension of the huge urbanization in terms of population growth inside Freetown and Western Rural district. So, administratively, of course, the city will get your own city administration, your mayor. And all that for the locality, but commercially we believe say go for grow because obviously they know exactly what I don't talk now.
For Lungi as a city, you say it reduce the population of Freetown. Part of the plan when they talk about Lungi as a city initially, now the Lungi Bridge as one of the components them for the city project. This still stand or this they part of these new arrangements or the arrangement be doing?
Well, in 2012, the former president His Excellency and his Kroma, he start for talk about the reforms that will happen with the localities. Now will they put her in place? That definitely means for say, of course, Lungi Bridge is family on the cards. Development is not one day. People don't know exactly what are the benefits if at all we get a bridge day. His Excellency still continue to be determined for that sort of development. We all the yarn so we'll get that sort of development because we know the kind of pressure whether they go release. We don't see a lot of people that don't talk about money business and all that kind of thing today. But nations have to sacrifice to do big things.
Okay.
And when you do big things, not necessarily the current generation self go enjoy them. But posterity will always remember, say, you know, those people, they worked hard. They tell them in the build trains and railways and all that thing, and their country the way they admire right now. Not necessarily say them in all the resources, but they planned, they worked hard towards it, and make sure say it come to fruition.
How institutionalize this project today and then programs here today, make it not be say na President Bio announce them, but of course after 2028, President Bio they go in term dondo. Whether the SLPP continue or then gets new governments, we go come in. How wanna institutionalize them for CC, whether with President Bio or without President Bio, this project will continue. Whoever be the next president or whose party take power or continue after 2028.
You know, the reforms are very legal. I don't state exactly the legal instruments them. The 2022 Local Government Act, I don't also quote Cap 60 of the Provincial Act, and I don't tell you exactly say these are legal instruments. Once the proclamation and they will be laid and it will be gazetted. When we get Karine, we'll get Falaba, then still day. Whether President Nkrumah been there or President Nkrumah no day, it still continue for day. Because now government now continuity. And when you respect continuity, it's not about undoing on political grounds. It's not for thing but waiting at the position, waiting they actually inform the decision for them thing and they and move and go before. Sometimes it could be right, sometimes definitely in terms of continuity of governance, you get to make sure say you keep to them and move and go before in order to avoid chaos.
Right. So this idea not get nothing to do with political goal. We are in people that now don't they allege say APC create two, una self one can for create una own. This not get anything to do with that?
Well, I already explain to you what they do. We include the divide will go for divide Freetown into 2 localities. The divide will go for divide Western Rural District into 3 localities. Lungi. And we also look at the amalgamation of some chiefdoms. We obviously done the yarn for separate and another rhyme together. I don't say we'll go for move and try to establish that. Okay. And various other things that we obviously His Excellency will pronounce when the time reach.
Now again, when I mentioned say we get forget 2 districts in Pangoma and Bandajuma. What lead to that?
Well, the same reasons they were Lungi before, in terms of establishing localities based on the current situation within the place there, the topography of the area, the access to administration, participation of the people in governance, planning, development for the areas, and the government firmly believes say there is need for us to establish 2 additional districts on their side and the for excuse me, for enable efficient and effective governance, local governance in their locality than they.
Now, let me look at this one and Wusai Bandajuma get for court from and Wusai get for the and Wusai Pangoma get for court and Awin get for the.
Well, for now, I will only inform you say we got 4 districts that we will be affected.
Okay.
We got 4 districts will go be affected. I'm not going to not to me for pronounce Uda go inside, Uda no go inside. But Hanuse Bu will be affected, Kenima will be affected, Pujong will be affected, and Kailahu will be affected. You see, when you do them boundaries, then what makes it much easier? You can look at by chiefdoms. Chiefdoms already get boundaries. For make sure say it become much easier and let you not create a lot of issues around boundary disputes at the area. Then usually you go by the chiefdom boundaries as they go along in order for create the localities then at the area. Then
So look at messages speak before.
And this one from Tunde Scott, he said they think the creating more districts will help them rig the next presidential election same way they did in 2023. No amount of manipulation will stop the people of Sierra Leone to make sure we have a chance of governance come next election.
This one from Joseph Josan on Facebook page, they say, so the question here is, does the government has the resources to create an all infrastructure and all the political offices to be created, considering we already have a high constrained wage bills?
This one from Patrick Musa Momodu, say the past government did the same mistake by creating 2 new districts and 1 region, Northwest region. Today, both district and region are currently struggling to survive the heat of the day.
This one from actor Peter Alston, they say they do not even have the capacity to run a single city, let alone create a twin city situation. This is just too disturbing for Australians at this time.
This one from Lord Rich Mas is say this is a good move by government to create new districts and cities for effective public administration and development.
This one from Melrose Committee, our Facebook page, they say an excellent way to go. Kudos, Minister Lamina.
Alright, Mr. Minister, that we get a lot of messages them, but that's not a few and we will take. We hope say when you go back in our office, you go watch your Facebook page and try for look some of the messages them. You will respond to some of the one that we read.
well, I want to tell the viewers them and the one that we send questions and comments, plenty thank you. This is now a participatory process. We hand inside. Follow make sure say Salungo before. Somebody say whether government get the resources. Government will get the resources. We believe say usually you go plan and try as much as possible for fulfill the objectives of those plans. Twin cities, this is not an unusual business at all. In fact, we better several before say inside the urban side are two councils that we'll get forget. Many places you get city of London, you get plenty boroughs. We in a council boroughs they're within an place that day. You go to Kenya, you get the same thing. You go to Guinea, we in our neighbor, you go Ghana, inside no more way people then feel say and this is not about individuals. Let get that. It is not about you. Let me talk that. This is about Salon and this is about development. And this is about pro-development. This now for make sure say the people can get access to the administration. For make sure say the sanitation issues they're more addressed locally. For make sure say the market cleaning issues they're more addressed locally. For make sure say the clinics then they're able to get there and the councillors and the mayors and therefore they're closer to the clinics, not to and the burden of the huge task on one council. We want to release that burden day. That's not the thing we make government don't make this decision. And you will watch me, we remember saying that about you. I want to tell you say this is not about you, and we will make the decision. I will not even think or say it is about you. It is about Saloon and how Saloon will go before. So I want to tell you plenty thank you.
Mr. Minister, quick one. What's in the happen with the Saturday cleaning? Why stop?
Well, Saturday cleaning obviously now be His Excellency in one of him. It's in the way we introduce will come. But clearly we realize say it better for let the councils themselves let them they handle and where they go along rather than would they get monthly cleaning. If you say that may they defeat the object of council, they manage sanitation issues.
We round up the program now. You don't take it and explain for the 1 hour 30 minutes on how you say this not get for do with politics, but when you look at the Facebook page, when you look at the messages, people believe say it's about politics. As local government minister, within a message of assurance to people that this not get for do with politics or get for do with politics.
Well, I want to assure Sierra Leoneans and say this government, since His Excellency the President come, a lot of things in the way don't do way they in the interest of this country, and clearly this is not one of them. This is not one of him pronouncement them. And we always don't talk and say go deep in decentralization, and deepening decentralization we go for things say services then go for the closer to the people, and the administration access to administration go for B. This is not about politics. Lungi, Freetown, Western Rural District. In fact, if you talk about politics, I feel say we enhance how people then will relate inside Freetown in the Western Rural District. But I have to tell you plenty thank you.
Plenty thank you, Tambalamina, Minister for Local Government and Community Affairs, for we join we today on the 2 new districts them we government plan for create and also divide Freetown rural urban to 2 and rural to 3 and also make Lungi a new city.